All right, good evening and welcome to the July 16th, 2025 Arts Council regular hybrid video meeting. The time is now 5:31. I am Recreation Supervisor and Staff Liaison Katie Herzog. With the vacancy of a chair and vice chair, I will preside over this meeting until the Arts Council appoints a chair later this evening. Tonight's Arts Council meeting is in person at the Mercer Island Community and Event Center, and we're also using Zoom conferencing technology video conferencing provided by Zoom. The Zoom video of this meeting is being recorded and will be uploaded to the city's YouTube channel later this week. Public audience members may be watching the meeting in person at the community center, by telephone, or online. Thank you for joining us and welcome to everyone tonight. Tonight, we're excited to welcome two new Arts Council members, Pam Rock and Britta Eckley. Would you each be willing to share a bit about what interests you in volunteering to be on the Arts Council? Pam, we will start with you.
Thank you. Well, I'm very excited to be on the Arts Council. I've been a resident of Mercer Island for about 25 years, and I recently retired. And the arts, I think, are a critical part of any community for it to be a vibrant community. I'm not an artist, but I did serve on the Arts Council many years ago, and I'm really looking forward to being back and serving with this group.
I'm Britta Eckley, and I am very thrilled to be surrounded by all of you. I'm originally from Olympia, Washington, but I've been living out of the country for the last recent years and have just come back to Washington State. I'm new to Mercer Island, but my background is in the arts as well as education, and I'm currently very involved in neuro arts and writing a book about how the arts and aesthetic experiences advance our health and well-being. And community engagement is a very important component to that. And so I hope that I can implement that here on Mercer Island.
Wonderful. Thank you both and welcome to the Arts Council. Councilors, please turn on your microphones and city staff will call the roll.
Thank you. Councillor Scone.
Present.
Councillor Harrington.
Here.
Councillor Young. Councillor Rajagopal.
Here.
Councillor Kratzer.
Here.
Councillor Eckley.
Here.
And Councillor Rock.
Here.
Thank you, Katie.
Is there anyone who has signed up for appearances and wishes to address the Arts Council?
Nope, we have no appearances tonight.
Then we will move to our first item of the agenda, which is the staff liaison report and planning schedule. I will share my screen and we'll get started. Share the wrong screen, right? There we go. All right. We will start with some updates and we will recap our really fun, really well-attended weekend. We held Summer Celebration on Saturday. We started with our parade. We had over 37 groups, plus city vehicles and a fire engine to kick off the day of fun. I really want to thank everyone for coming down and participating and being part of this really great community event. After the parade, we went into Mercerdale Park. We had huge crowds down 77th Avenue where we had over 70 booths of vendors, sponsors, community groups. We held a touch-a-truck with our Public Works Department. We had a foam party, as you can see in this photo, live bands, circus acts, food trucks, just a lot of great fun, a hot day, but a very, very fun day. We then had paid parking in this community center parking lot for the fireworks show and raised over $5,500, which goes directly back to support the event. So after the fun day at Mercerdale, we then relocated to Luther Burbank, where we had live music, food trucks, and a fantastic fireworks show off of Lake Washington. A huge thanks to all of our staff and our sponsors who generously supported this event. That included the Mercer Island Community Fund, Mercer Island Martial Arts, Bell Harbor, John L. Scott, Windermere, the Mercer, Parent Map, Puget Sound Energy, Mercer Island City Lifestyle, the Mercer Island School District, Friends of Mercer Island Library, and Dave & Buster's. An update on the mural restoration. Earlier in July, we completed the restoration of the Summer of the Wetlands mural. This is the mural that is on the Luther Burbank pickleball courts. We included the work of painting the exposed mural section outside of the courts. We repaired sections damaged during asphalt paving and cleaned and resealed the entire mural. So it's looking really great down there. The pickleball courts are very heavily used as they are new and exciting. Our maintenance will be having some routine closures to make sure that those courts are keeping in great shape and having routine maintenance. So look for that work and signage of when that will happen. This spring, our own Arts Council member, Irene Rajagopal, has offered some open studio art time here at the community center. We held 3 studios. They were free. They all had fantastic participation. We're taking a brief summer break, but we'll be back this fall with more open art studio. So very special thanks to Irene, and we're very happy to have these events at our facility.
Yeah, may I? Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for city's support, especially Katie and Raven. You not only provide the space, but also material and all the support and the staff. I feel like this open studio is very meaningful for the community to come together, whether you have experience or not, to work together and as a community. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. We're thrilled to bring these back in the fall. Okay, and then for some upcoming events, tomorrow, our Mostly Music in the Park concert series will kick off with Paperback Rider, a Beatles tribute band. We will have food trucks on site, arts and crafts provided by the Mercer Island Visual Arts League, games in the field. So it's 6 weeks, Thursday evenings from 6:30 to 8:30, a fantastic lineup of bands. We're really excited for this concert series. We'd also like to thank Seattle Airstream Adventures and the Mercer Island Community Fund. They are our presenting sponsors. And we also have For Culture, Covenant Living, MyVol, Mercer Island City Lifestyle, The Crawl Space, and NK Designs, who are sponsoring these concerts this year. On August 7th, before the Mostly Music in the Park concert, we will be holding Pride in the Park. Come down, stay for Mostly Music. We'll have food trucks, activities, dancing, community booths, and a Rue Paws puppy party that we're very excited for. Shakespeare in the Park has kicked off their season last week at Luther Burbank Park Amphitheater. They have a slew of dates in July and August, one being tonight actually at 7 p.m. You can find the full schedule on the city special events webpage, but we're very excited to have Wood and O back and performing in the park. Our current art show here at the community center is MyVol's Junior Art Show. It will run through August 22nd. And MyVol is calling for entries for a community photography show, which will then be held from August 25th to October 17th. So if you or someone you know would like to provide an entry, they are collecting them through August 7th. And then the show will be a great community show for all. Next up is our planning schedule. The Arts Council will meet on October 15th. We will look at the Dean's Children's Park Art in Public Places. We will also give a 25-26 City Arts and Culture Work Plan update and kick off the Greta Hackett Outdoor Sculpture Gallery Activation Plan. And that concludes our department report. All right. The next item on our agenda is to review and consider approving the minutes from March 19th, our special hybrid meeting. Counselors, may I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
And is there a second?
Second,
All right, there is a motion by Counselor Scone and a second by Counselor Rajagopal. Does anyone have any questions or comments before we vote? If not, please turn on your microphones.
Counselor Kratzer?
Approve? Yes. What do I say?
Either one.
Okay. Counselor Rock?
I'll abstain since I was not here.
Counselor Rajagopal?
approve,
Counselor Scone?
Approve?
Counselor Eckley?
Abstain.
Counselor Harrington?
Approve.
Okay, the motion passes and the minutes are approved. Our next item is the Arts Council Officer elections. Tonight, we will appoint a new chair and vice chair utilizing the process to elect new officers as noted in section 3.1 of the bylaws. So we will conduct elections for chair. Any counselor may nominate a candidate for chair and no second is needed. Nominees may accept or decline the nomination. If only one nomination is made, it is appropriate to make a motion and obtain a second to instruct the staff liaison to cast a unanimous ballot for the nomination for chair. If more than one nomination is made, an open election is conducted by a roll call vote. To be elected, the nominee needs a majority vote of the Arts Council. We will continue until a chair is elected by majority vote, and we will declare the nominee receiving the majority vote as the new chair. I will now open the floor for nominations for the position of chair. You may raise your hand if you'd like to make a nomination. Counselor Rajagopal.
yeah, I would like to nominate Council Harrington because of his experience, passion, and skills. I think he will be a good fit.
Can I second that?
Yes.
We don't need a second.
Are there any other nominations? Then we will conduct a roll call vote for the nominee. Okay, making sure I'm doing this right.
Counselor Rajagopal?
Approve,
Counselor Rock?
Approve.
Counselor Harrington?
Approve.
Counselor Scone?
Approve.
Counselor Eckley?
Approve.
Counselor Kratzer?
Approve.
Thank you, Katie.
Congratulations, Counselor Harrington. We will now
Thank you
open the
very much
floor.
for your support.
We will now open the floor for nominations for the position of vice chair. Please raise your hand if you'd like to make a nomination for vice chair. Counselor Rajagopal.
I would like to nominate Council Scone because she has been in Arts Council for a long time and she has good community connection with business, especially these days our public art funds and everything. Maybe we need a lot of support from the business community. Thank you.
Sure, I'm willing. Thank you for the nomination.
Any other nominations? Okay, staff, please call a roll call vote.
Thank you. Counselor Eckley?
Approve.
Counselor Kratzer?
Approve.
Counselor Rajagopal?
Approve,
Counselor Harrington?
Approve.
Counselor Rock?
Approve.
And Counselor Scone?
Approve. Thanks.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Counselor Scone. The new officers will now assume their respective roles unless you would request that the staff liaison continue facilitating the current meeting. Since Counselor Harrington is virtual tonight, I'm happy to keep going if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that'd be good. I have kind of a dicey hotel internet connection, so if you could do that, that'd be great.
Perfect. I will
Thank
note
you.
sometimes it does sound like our mics are cutting out, but it should not be that way on our video. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the 2024 Recreation Division Annual Report, and I will welcome Recreation Manager Ryan Daly.
Good evening, Arts Council. Let's see here if I can fix this screen real fast. Maybe. There we go. Well, we are here to give you, Katie and I collectively, to provide a 2024 annual report. We do this annually. And we'll bring this forward. It's really our opportunity to share all of the great things that this division did in the previous year. Generally, we provide this anywhere between the months of April and July. And here we are in July, being able to bring this forward to you. So just a couple of things that we're going to go over. One, we're going to talk about who is the Recreation Division, what did we do, and then we'll give you a 2025 update, sort of a mid-year where we stand. Who are we? We are a team of 18 full-time and part-time staff. We strive and focus on delivering life-improving recreation services. We connect community members, which Katie shared a bunch of those items earlier in the department report. And we support a number of community organizations. And honestly, one of our key elements that this division has been focused on really since coming out of COVID is consistently seeking to improve. So we're always looking for new ways, better ways to do things, and new partners that we can do so with. So here's a really boring organizational chart that I'm not going to spend a lot of time on, but you can see sort of how our division is broken out. And you have the recreation manager, and then we have two recreation supervisors. One is a facility supervisor, and that's primarily overseeing this facility as well as our athletic facilities. And the other being Katie Herzog to my right, who oversees and coordinates all of our recreation programming and events. Administration. So the way our department is broken up is, or our division is broken up, is into three kind of key categories. We have administration, which is sort of my area. And then, as I mentioned, we have facilities and recreation programs. So to talk a little bit on the administration side, I'm not going to go through all of the elements listed there, but some key outcomes were developing the division's 2025-2026 budget and work plan, developing and implementing online bookings for our athletic fields, developing and implementing temporary rules for the Luther Burbank pickleball courts, which are now permanent rules because we have a brand new court down there. We've expanded the use of our civic optimized forms to more efficiently process sponsorships and requests for recreation program applications. And then just to really cap off the year, and we're extremely proud of this, we achieved 70% cost recovery overall for our division. That is, compared to other organizations, that's tremendous. Generally, you're looking at somewhere around 50 to 55%, and to be at 70% speaks volumes for what this facility itself is doing. That's a large revenue generator for us. And as I mentioned in the bullet point earlier on online athletic fields, that's sort of our other large bucket that is bringing in substantial revenue. So that led to that 70% overall cost recovery. The other area within the administrative functional area is the boards and commissions. So myself, I'm the staff liaison to the Parks and Recreation Commission, and they had some key outcomes this year. They recommended a recreation sponsorship policy to the City Council, which was approved. They recommended the open space zone to the Planning Commission, and we completed a park zone tour, or a park tour, that began the development of the park zone. Which just went to City Council for approval as well. Some key outcomes for the Arts Council this last year was recommended appropriation for the 1% for the Art and Public Places Fund to support the restoration of Totem and the Luther Burbank mosaic murals. began work on the Art and Public Places 6-year plan, which will go forward to City Council in September. And then also endorsed the 2025-2026 Arts and Culture Work Plan. The community center, I'll speak a little bit on this, some key outcomes. We expanded our after hours and holiday access. So this facility is actually, our posted hours are not accurate. We do not hardly ever close at 7 p.m. We are always open until 9, and oftentimes that's with rentals. And then on our holiday hours, except for a few select holidays, we're open. So Martin Luther King Day, Veterans Day, Labor Day, Memorial Day, those are all dates that we're open and open for access for the community. We've collaborated with multiple partners to provide access to the facility, specifically with the Sister City Association, MIPA, the Mercer Island Chinese Association, and a number of other groups as well, including MyVol. We've maintained relationships with the MISD Pathways program. That's a special needs program that comes and supports the work we do here at the community center, sort of a work experience program. We've collaborated with multiple city departments for community engagement and emergency support. And part of that emergency support was coordinating community access to this facility. If you can think way back to the bomb cyclone and the headaches there this last winter, the community center played a key role in supporting the community in that aspect. This slide, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it shows the volume, and I'm actually going to speak to the chart there on the right. That blue section, the large blue section, is city coordinated programs. So as you can see, about 53% of all of the activity happening in this facility is city coordinated programming. A big portion of that is in the gym or our meeting rooms, whether it be art programs or athletic programs in the gym. And then you see those other areas, and I'll call out that the big green section, those are private events. So those are oftentimes could be a bar mitzvah, a wedding, a business rental, a number of items that fall into that category. And then we broke it out a little bit separately to that darker green section, which we call recreational rentals. One of the things we pride ourselves on in this facility is creating community access to provide their own recreation programs. So that might be a group, I might look to Raven. Can I get an example? What's a Oh, volleyball program. Absolutely. Great one. Yes. Our gym, I mentioned the extended hours, staying open till about 9. We have a number of volleyball programs that come and rent the facility. So those fall into that category, as well as basketball, or if a group of people wanted to rent the courts for a pickleball party or something along those lines, that falls into that as well. One of the other things I'll just highlight is the increase in participation and hours from 24 to 25. So just in booking hours alone, we increased by almost 1,500 hours providing access to the community. So really, really well-used facility. We're coming up on our 20-year mark here this December. We have new carpet. We're very excited about getting that in 2024. So there's some issues or some challenges we have with an aging facility, but demand for access is definitely one of those items that we really balance on a regular basis. And now I'll pass it to Katie.
So as Ryan mentioned, I oversee the programs and events side of recreation. In 2024, the first bulleted list are all the city coordinated events. So these are the ones that we coordinate and organize from start to finish, which included Shakespeare in the Park and mostly music in the park, summer celebration. We did a pumpkin walk. December has Illuminate MI, where we coordinate with our right-of-way team to put lights in town center. We hold a tree lighting and a holiday makers market. We held family movie nights, a senior resource fair, Leap for Green, which is our sustainability fair, Pride in the Park, Juneteenth, and Island Lanterns. And then we also partner with quite a good list of local organizations to expand the events that we can do. So we hold blood drives here at the community center. We held a women's wellness event with the Chamber of Commerce. We help coordinate the town center trick-or-treating, the menorah lighting, toy drive, and Lunar New Year with the Mercer Island Chinese Association. And through the sponsorship program mentioned that the Parks and Rec Commission approved, we're able to help local organizations put on events in city parks. So through that, MIPA was able to hold some play dates. We permitted the high school parade. Youth Theater Northwest had a family fun fest. Chamber of Commerce holds Art Uncorked each year. The school district held field days and a 5K. Tai Chi in the park, and Little League opening day. In 2024, we started to bring back some of our programming from the pre-COVID times, and we held a senior fitness class called Musical Fitness, Music Together, which is a parent and child singing class, family sing-alongs with Nancy Stewart, Osher, which is another senior lifelong learning, art classes. We also run the Pea Patch up on the hill and organize summer camps. And then with our outdoor facility rentals, we held 102 picnic rentals throughout our parks. We had over 10,000 hours booked of our athletic fields, which was an increase from 2023. And we permitted another 36 events in our parks. 22 of those were private events, 2 First Amendment events, and 12 were sponsored through our sponsorship program.
And then I'll just chime in real quick because I always do. On the graph there on the right, you might not be able to read it, but that darker blue section, we call that tier 1. So when we rent out our athletic fields, essentially we go through a priority booking process, and Mercer Island residents and youth programs have the first priority, and then it breaks down from there to non-resident to basically to for-profit eventually. But as you can see from that, 81% of our athletic field users are Mercer Island, essentially Mercer Island youth. That's a tremendous number. We put a lot of effort into our athletic field rentals. Essentially, Mercer Island organizations or Mercer Island youth organizations are getting everything they could possibly want from our athletic fields. I mean, they're competing with each other sometimes for space, but they're the ones who are getting first crack at everything. Following them getting their allocations, we then open it up to the other groups, and they kind of fill in those leftover spots. So I love athletic fields. I love talking about it because this is an area where we spend a lot of time to make sure we can create equitable access across user groups, and this is working out very, very well. With respect to our athletic field rentals and actually our community center use as well, we don't do differential pricing on those using a resident or non-resident. We focus it on priority. Hey, I'll keep talking, Katie.
Good.
So just to give you a little bit of a preview of 2025, and maybe it's more of a mid-year update, just a couple of items to highlight. We've really been focused on promoting and increasing access to the Mercer Island Gallery here at the community center. I can't say enough about our partnership with MyVol. It's absolutely outstanding in the work that they do, volunteering to curate that gallery. The Arts Council, as I mentioned earlier, developed the Art in Public Places Plan, which will go to City Council in September. Huge body of work. Staff are so appreciative of that moving forward. That's going to really set the Arts Council and staff up for success as we continue that 6-year rolling plan going forward. I also mentioned the 20th anniversary of the community center. We are obviously addressing some infrastructure needs here. We're on our 2nd flooring here. We're on our 3rd or 4th flooring in the Mercer room. I'm really happy. I'm really feeling supportive as your recreation manager from the support I get from City Council in in maintaining this facility at such a high standard. It is truly a community asset. Katie, why don't you mention the 44,000, because that is all you.
So our grant from King County for Culture, which goes directly to community events, has increased by $33,000 for the next 3 years. So we're very excited and very gracious that that grant will continue this year and for the next 2 years. Very cool. We also received a $20,000 grant from the Mercer Island Community Fund, and that money goes directly to summer celebration, mostly music in the park, Shakespeare in the park, and our community coffee that happens here at the community center every Tuesday and Friday mornings.
And then I'll just mention the P patch, which takes place up here just behind Kite Hill. We've increased and expanded that to 64 participants. Last year it was 44. Very proud of the expansion there. Those are all residents. Excellent resident program. And then I'll add one other thing. One of the other hats I wear is on the emergency management side. We're talking extensively right now about the World Cup, which will be happening this time next year, and what those impacts are going to be. And they will be substantial. Those are significant events that'll be happening in Seattle, but obviously that impact will roll over to Mercer Island and probably the east side and Puget Sound area as a whole. So we're feeling very good that we're out front of that a year ahead of time and starting to work on our operational plans to support this community and maintain traffic flows and just access to our various sites. So with that, I am happy to, and Katie is happy to as well, take any questions you might have and go from there.
Question. With the opening of the pickleball courts and the popularity of Luther Burbank, and the congestion in the parking lot down there, is there any consideration of sort of two things? One, doing a little bit of survey as people come down the hill maybe and get their zip code and just see where people are coming from and what they are going to do in the park. Are they swimming, walking, dog park, pickleball? I'd be really curious about that. And also getting back to I'm very impressed with your cost recovery. I'm sure City Council loves that. And of course, the residents love that. Would it be possible to consider, or have you been considering charging for parking in the lower lot with nice big signs that say free parking in the upper lot? But if you want this convenience down here, there is a cost sharing. And I really put that out there because I mean, everything we do recreating wise, if you play golf, you're paying $150 or something that morning. Pickleball for free and park use, seems to me like there should be a contribution.
Yeah. Excellent questions. Yes, yes, and yes. So on your first question regarding surveying, I'm not sure that we're going to have the staff resources to go down and survey individually. One of the things we are working on behind the scenes as staff is different app-based programs that allow us to sort of heat check areas and find out where people are coming from and where they may be going afterwards on and off island. That'll help to give us an idea of who's using those courts, and we can narrow that search into a specific location within the park as well. So more to come on that. That's sort of some emerging technology we're looking at that we're actually watching other cities, specifically Redmond and Tukwila, have just rolled that out. So before we invest, we want to make sure that it's actual useful information. So that's one of the items we're looking at. Thinking about the parking aspect, that park, actually every one of our parks has had a parking challenge. That's Mercer Island Parks. We build these awesome parks with inadequate parking. Luther Burbank's lucky because we have this facility up here. I won't let the cat out of the bag, but yes, we are evaluating the opportunity for charging for parking in certain lots. One of the things I'll highlight, and Luther Burbank is a little unique compared to other parks. That uniqueness comes from how it was acquired. We have certain requirements in how we received that park from King County, and that being a regional park and open to all. So we're not necessarily able to differentiate between resident and non-resident, but we are allowed to take data that we capture, and this is kind of where my mind goes, capture data when are residents using the park the most, and maybe that's a free period of use versus maybe weekend use where I know that Luther Burbank Park is substantially utilized by non-residents during the weekend. So maybe that's more so where the parking goes. So there's a lot of things. I think you touched right on some very important topics that are at the top of our mind. As it relates specifically to the pickleball courts, we are watching that very, very closely. I'm hearing my phone. Thankfully, it's in my desk in in my office. It rings a lot. And there is no shortage of input coming from the pickleball community on what they would like to see, ways to enhance, ways to change, ways to make it better. It'd be nice if it was all the same opinion. It's not. There's oftentimes a lot of diverse opinion around that, but it is something we're looking at and the lens we look through, or I should say I look through in developing rules, regulations, and access to those facilities is what's in the best interest of our community members who foot the bill for this. So that's really what we're evaluating right now. And we're committed to not doing anything until after we do that evaluation through this summer and fall. And then we would look to make some changes potentially next year.
I have two questions. One is about the World Cup. I think that would be a huge opportunity for Mercer Island's exposure. Maybe we can see what's there available for the arts and culture in that, and also what kind of assistance we can provide to the city, especially for your emergency. I don't know whether we can provide any assistance of a volunteer. And second is, I wonder if that P patch, it's such a nice place. Is it still open to more people to be there?
Excellent questions. So World Cup, absolutely. My hope is that as we come through the fall, we'll have a good idea of what our operational capabilities are going to be. We're really weighing, and I think this has been highlighted to the council, so I'm not letting anything out of the bag here. We're evaluating how we'll operate our park system and this facility especially. Knowing that we have a lot of off-island business users and things like that come to utilize this facility, we may not operate. We may black those dates out because we know that traffic is just going to be absolutely slammed. So those are some things we're working through with Washington State DOT and then also City of Seattle. So more to come. Katie is often the fun person and is always looking at things from a different angle. So to your point on Mercer Island exposure, that's something she's considering and trying to twist my arm towards. So more to come out, and I think we're going to have some of those conversations with the Parks Commission as well as the Arts Council on, what does this look like? What is manageable during the World Cup? We're seeing and hearing other cities, some of the watch parties, some of the opportunities that they're leaning into. We have a little different scenario with our staffing model is very, very lean to add additional items, but hate to waste what may be a once in a career opportunity here on this one. So Katie's pushing.
Thank you.
And then in terms of the P
Oh, thank
patch
you.
question, for this season, it is closed. We have filled our 64 spots. And come January, we hold another evaluation of how many more spots we can open. There is typically a wait list that people are welcome to join at any time. And then once spots come open, we, go to the wait list and do that. I know we've had a couple vacancies this year. And so I know off the top of my head, we'll have 2 spots ready to go for next season. But it's a great program. Some people have been in the program for, over 20 years. It's really great. So, but we're anxious to get more gardeners up there as well. So next year, hopefully we'll add a few more from the wait list.
Great,
Yeah.
thank you.
Chair Harrington?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, what the prospects are for, light rail and whether or not you're planning, like in your planning, are you kind of expecting that probably light rail will actually be moving by the World Cup? Because it can have a really big effect on how many people come and how they come, especially, out of state people, foreigners. So I'm just curious what your thoughts are on prospects for light rail and how you're planning for that.
Absolutely. That is one of the top topics and maybe a bit of the unknown right now. I'll highlight one of the challenges we're evaluating and I see it as a challenge, but also a potential opportunity. We know that train as it comes through could be full. And individuals who come to Mercer Island who are trying to catch the train from Mercer Island may not be able to get on it as quickly as they may like. And so some of the things we're discussing is what is, the Greta Hackett Sculpture Gallery, what does that area look like? What is the opportunity that we can highlight there for those individuals who are waiting for a train or want to pop into town center and eat? So that's some of the conversations we're beginning to have. We're pretty concerned about the traffic impacts. I'll say that's probably the number one issue. We're envisioning something close to what we see with Seafair, and just making sure that we can get people moving around. The benefit would be if those individuals weren't all trying to drive in their car and they're able to walk around town center and enjoy some of our local businesses. That's one of the pushes we want to try to make. But as I was mentioning with Katie and her plethora of ideas, I see us activating that downtown area, the Greta Hackett Sculpture Gallery, the new parking area, during that period to accommodate those users who are coming in at that point.
Thank you.
First of all, great report. It was great seeing all of that, and I was shocked to see how much activity there actually is with 18 staff members. I'm curious what you attribute to your high cost recovery percentage and how that compares to other years. And then second, what are the biggest challenges you see the Parks Department facing right now?
Okay, first question was, what do we attribute to the strong cost recovery? It's great management. No, I can't say that. I will say it's an outstanding team. We tried something different coming out of COVID that other cities tend to not do. We have, and I'll point to Raven because she's one of my best hires ever. We brought in a frontline staff of full-time employees. We committed to paying them well, and also putting a large burden of work on that frontline staff. Oftentimes, other organizations utilize a casual labor, maybe first job scenarios, that kind of thing. What I've seen is I have an outstanding team of, they don't know that they're doing this all the time, but they're great salespeople. And so when we think about the usage of the community center, they're selling it in two ways. And that's, and this is the outstanding part. And I think this is the best part of the work that they do is they can evaluate the person seeking to come to the facility. And that's, if they want to host a wedding, they're able to sell that wedding package. If they want to host a high level business meeting, they're able to demonstrate all of the capabilities that this facility has for that. If they are just a fun group, maybe they're a summer camp, maybe they're that recreational rental group, they're able to move forward and get them into the facility. What that's led to is just a tremendous volume through this building, of individuals who are paying a premium for the services, but we're offering that that premium service at just an exceptional level. And so that's one of the main reasons. The other is coming out of COVID, we developed a cost recovery model that we tie every expenditure and every revenue back to. And so not that we were doing things incorrectly in the past, we're just extremely diligent in how we're offering those services now. We also have a Parks and Recreation Commission, an Arts Council, and a City Council that is extremely supportive, but also holds us accountable to those items. We love reporting on this stuff. This wasn't something we ever did in the pre-COVID years. And so to be able to come and provide that information, good or bad, it helps us to work through those challenges. So I think that's the rationale for us doing really well. It's also, we don't get, we are quick to make changes. And that could be in what our process is. It's to lean into the technology-based systems. I mentioned the civic optimized forms. I also mentioned the athletic field rentals, and those have basically doubled the revenue that they were bringing in pre-COVID. A big part of that is the online booking. We're the only city in the region that I'm aware of that does a self-service model on being able to rent your athletic fields. We have Jeremy's not here, but Jeremy is our guru in that area, and it has been outstanding. It's increased access, so you can just go online, book, pay, and you're done. Instead of waiting for a phone call, oh, this time's not available, this and that. So that's to say we've really leaned into those process improvements, and that's been great. Challenges going forward. There's a couple. I'll say financially, we're Mercer Island. I think there's a perception that Mercer Island, the city of Mercer Island, has deep pockets. That's probably not true. I mean, I know that that's not true. As an organization, it's very tight, and it's going to get tighter in the next 2 to 4 years. That is an assurance that I have. I know that that's going to be happening, and I know that there's going to be some hard decisions at the council level at some point. Our role, what we're focused on, is how do we make those decisions easier? How do we demonstrate that 70% cost recovery? How do we watch every dollar coming in? I think that starts with summer celebration. We were charging for parking up here at a premium. That's, people are getting a great fireworks show. They're willing to, and they appreciate it so much. So there's a lot of give and take there. I think one of the challenges I struggle with personally, and this is just sort of Ryan's point of view on Parks and Recreation in general, we're doing a service right now with 18 full-time staff members, or 18 total staff members, that's significantly less than the resources we had pre-COVID, even pre-COVID. That makes it really hard to expand and offer the recreation programs that don't generate revenue. And so that's something that just coming out of COVID, we haven't gotten completely to. And when I'm saying those, it's oftentimes your preschool programs, it's your senior programs, it's your arts and culture, registration-based programs. It takes full-time staff to oftentimes coordinate that. And we got the nuts and bolts of the department together. We just didn't get to that extra step. And that's where Katie and I have conversations probably every day about how can we offer these services with what we have. And to Katie's credit, tremendous job being able to do more than what we were resourced for. And so, thinking about challenge, this community loves to let us know what they like to see, and we love to deliver that, but it can be hard. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, if there are no more questions, we will move to our last item of business, which is absences and council reports. Councilors, does anyone have anything to report, including any planned absences, especially for our next October meeting?
Yes, I'd like to bring up a topic here. So we're really kind of in this fast changing environment over the island support for the 1% for the arts funding. And I think it's really important that we as a council try to coalesce a little bit and come together. And we've talked about having a retreat for some time. And it seems like this is a perfect time to do it, and sooner rather than later, hopefully by the end of the year, so we can get to know one another, what our interests are, and think about projects that we, as members, like what a wonderful work that Irene is doing, um, what we can do to add to the discussion about arts on the island. So yeah, I'm wondering how to make that happen. Um, I know there are already things on the agenda for the October meeting. I don't know if it's possible to have a retreat-like event or have part of that meeting be kind of an open discussion where we can get to know one another. I'm not sure how to do that, but I think it is really important we get to know one another and find out, what our skills and interests are. So that's just throwing it out to be discussed, and I really hope that we can do this by the end of the year in some fashion. So I'd be interested to know if anyone has any opinions about how to proceed with this or whether you think it's a good idea.
I think it's a wonderful idea. I think we also have a lot of new members on the council, and it would be incredibly helpful for us to get to know one another and understand more about what our role is on the Arts Council and just, yeah, ways that we can actually give arts to the island beyond sitting in meetings. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that would be great if we can meet together and brainstorm and also see how we can provide some financial fundraising for the arts program for the city.
Well, what I can do is reach out to the chair and vice chair and get the three of us together to maybe start planning something. And then hopefully have an update by our October meeting or communicate to all the Arts Council what we come up with. But I'll get the three of us in a room so we can start the discussion.
I had a question about the 1% for the arts as it related to the bond. And I didn't know if you all had an update from the recent city council meeting on how that was going to move forward. Or if you're allowed to share that at this point.
Yes, I had it printed. I give it out. So the city council did move to remove the 1% for the art from the PSM building bond. That 1% total would have had to go out in the bond and be what am I trying to say, advertised to the voters. So it would look like, over a $740,000 chunk of money. They chose to not go that route and take it off of that project. So the bond going forward is only for that facility. Council has also asked that we return to the Arts Council as a 2026 work plan item to discuss the 1% and how we can update it. It hasn't been updated in quite some time. I think the 90s is the last time it was updated. So as a group, we will collectively look at that, see maybe what areas we want to improve and recommend those changes. When it was, updated in the 90s, it is very limited to the art. I think murals and sculptures are primarily highlighted. And I think there are ways that we can come up with to expand what, all of the art that we want to include in that. So we will have a chance to sit down, work on that project, but it will not be attached to the PSM facility bond. Does that-
Is there anything in the 1% for the arts that is related to parks and outdoor spaces, or is there I mean, get sculptures, but
It's more
Okay.
open-ended, so it's more citywide,
got it.
if that's the root of your question. Was it, or were you asking if it's?
Yeah, I think I had some curiosity as an outsider before I was on the Arts Council. I thought that, yeah, it's sculptures and murals. That makes sense. That's what it is, or
Right.
Shakespeare in the Park. But after the last meeting with the plan that we have, the strategic plan, and Dragon Park being included, I was curious how that works together. So the 1% for the arts, you'd think it was just art. I think it's
Oh.
wonderful if there's a way for art to be defined as a children's play area. And maybe that's what you're getting at with updating the,
You're on the right track here. Yes. So currently, the 1% art fund is funded by capital projects.
right,
That goes in there. Those funds can be used toward public art projects. The 1% fund, in my opinion, is outdated. Could be updated to be more reflective of what this community values and the direction you as a board would like to see that go through a recommendation. And so that's the conversation I had with our city manager. Was she'll be actually coming in and being a part of this conversation as well. The Arts Council would then develop a recommendation that would go to city council to update that ordinance.
thank you.
Yeah, if I may add, just to talk about what happened at that last, I guess it was July 1st meeting, city council. So the city council actually called for a full exemption of the bond facility project from arts funding contribution, meaning they provided no money. I mean, they could have provided 10,000 or 20. They provided zero. So for me, that's sending a message, I think, regarding, how much do some people in this community care about arts if they can't even provide 10,000 or 15,000 out of 100 million. So it's just a question about, the role of public art on the island. And I think that's something that we can have a wonderful discussion about at a future retreat to really get people's opinions and ideas about how to move forward with that. I just comment.
All right, no further comments or questions and no planned absences for October? All right, so our next Arts Council meeting is a regular meeting on October 15th. We will meet here at 5:30. The time is now 6:29 and the meeting is adjourned. As a reminder, please stay seated until the city staff has terminated the Zoom broadcast. Thank you all for joining us tonight and welcome to our new members.